So what is the DISC model of human behavior? I'm just going to tell you the short version here. It's the real deal. It's scientifically proved. 2,400 years ago, people started understanding that people have different personalities, okay? This is the crux of what I want you guys to get your minds wrapped around. How many of you would say, hey, you know what? I'm more outgoing versus a reserved personality. When I say outgoing, right, fast-paced, energetic, optimistic, enthusiastic, outgoing, okay, all right? Life of the party, like, hey, how many of you say you're more reserved, right? You're slower paced, you're cautious, you're concerned, critical thinking. Where's my more reserved? Okay, all right. Now, how many of you would say, I'm more task-oriented, like I get charged up by procedure, function, plans, projects, or process. You focus on things getting done versus, you know what, I'm more people-oriented, where, hey, relationships, caring, sharing, emotion, hanging out with people. How many would you say that you're task-oriented? All right. How many of you would say, hey, I'm more people-oriented? Okay, fantastic. And that's, you know, when you saw Pat talking about the 2% to 30%, 20% of the personality profile, basically, those are the 4 basic temperaments of people. That's proven. That's scientific. That's proven. That basically, people are outgoing or reserved, task-oriented or people-oriented. Now, what I want you to understand, and you hit on it a little bit, we're all blends of these temperaments, right? Everyone is not just all outgoing, right? Folks aren't just all task, but you're a slight blend. These 4 temperaments are what comprise and make people the way they are. It's basically how they're wired, and this is what the DISC model was built on. All right? So what does the DISC model mean? Those 4 temperaments stand for the dominant style, all right, which is outgoing and task-oriented. If you see, let me see if I can get my little pointer going here. It's not going to work on that. If you see outgoing and task, you're more D, right? Outgoing and more people-driven, you fall in that I style, right? If you're more reserved, like, hey, laid back, but you're driven by people, you're more S or supportive style. Or if you're more task-oriented, right, and reserved, you're more the C personality. And each one of these temperaments or personalities has distinctive traits and behaviors. And understanding this and how you're wired and how your customers, employees are wired will give you better insights as to why people behave the way they do. All right? Again, these descriptive words, all right, are going to help us frame up how we understand people, all right? So let's quickly talk about the D personality style, the outgoing, task-oriented. And now you're going to be able to say, okay, wait a second, that's me. That's my wife. That's Joey, the guy that works for me. This is why, okay? So dominant, direct, demanding, decisive, determined, a doer. That's the D personality style. All right, so you're a DI. I can tell you're a DI because you kind of have that go get 'em, and you're outgoing. Even when we were doing the pizza thing, do you realize? And it's funny that Pat was talking about this, but some of those pizza folks were mortified coming through that line. Now, all of them basically, right? But I wouldn't have been. Who would have handled that pizza line with no problem? Basically, that's because most of us probably in here are the D's and the I's, right? Think about it. Quick side note, I was walking through Lowe's the other day. They were having a morning meeting, and I'm talking 20 people at the front of the store. They were at the end caps and the aisle, Okay, 20 people. So you had to go through them or up and all around. I'm like, I'm not going up and around, I'm walking through them. My personality style, I wanted to walk through them. So I walked through them. I'm like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Lowe's knows. So I just started giving them all this Lowe's garbage, right? And I just started like, hey guys, look, man, have a great day. And I just kind of took over the meeting for like the 14 seconds I was walking through the deal, just interrupting their meeting, right? That's my personality style. I'll hijack that mother in a second, right? That doesn't bother me at all. Now, another personality style, the folks that are a little more reserved, more kicked back, like, oh, dude, I'm walking up and around. I'm not going near that meeting, all right? So let's move to the I's, the inspiring, the I's. Influencing, inducing, they're interactive. They like to be impressed, and they're impressive by their personality styles. They're interested in people, all right? Think of those descriptors now, right, and put them in your brain here. Then we move to the S's, who are reserved, but yet they fall on the people side, right? They're the S's. They're supportive. They're steady. They're stable, sensitive. They like status quo. They're a specialist. What? Talk to me.
Oh, I'm just saying that's totally not me.
No.
I'm unstable.
Oh, yeah, no, right. And most of you folks who are entrepreneurs, who are hustlers, some of you may have the blend of an INS or even a DNS, which is kind of counterintuitive here. But when you look at that personality style, the S style, the supportive style, has anyone ever seen the series like My 600-Pound Life or something like that? Yeah. Or even Bridezillas or something like that? There's always that person that enables, right? It's like, oh, have more bacon. It's good for you. And they're like, no, I'm trying to, right? Why are you laughing? You know those people, right? Those are more, when they're out of control, tend to be that S style because they care about people. They want everyone to feel good, to feel calm, to feel status quo. Now, again, when it's out of control, it moves to, hey, I don't want to lose the fact that I take care of this person. They're not well when they're like offering more bacon to someone who's just had, you know, their stomach stapled, right? Crazy. But anyway, that's the S style. Now, if you're not that style, you have to think, okay, who can that be? Who are there people in my life that I see that in? All right. Then the C. These, and Pat talked about a little bit. These are the people that basically are the ones that, hey, how are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? Do you have insurance? Right? They are cautious, calculating, competent, compliant. They think, they're careful, they're reserved, right? And they're about task. So these are our four styles: the dominant, the inspiring, the supportive, and the cautious.